There are two critical questions you need to ask yourself before getting Incogni, which is 1, what does it do exactly? And 2, does it work as advertised? Luckily, I can answer both questions. Hi, I'm Ro with Cybersleuth, and today we're going to be reviewing Incogni, which is, for those of you who don't know, a data broker removal service. Now, I am going to be covering everything you need to know about Incogni, so if at some point you just feel like, I'm ready to go with the service or I want to try it out, don't forget to check out the description below for an exclusive discount code that'll save you some money and support the channel at no cost to you, which I always appreciate. I've been testing Incogni as well as other similar services for quite some time, and the best way to summarize Incogni is it does one thing very, very well, which is to send out as many opt-out requests to as many data brokers as possible. Let's take a step back. Before we go any further, what is a data broker removal service? Or what is a data broker? Well, a data broker is one of those pesky internet companies that scrape your personal information and resell it. You might be looking for the opposite of that, which helps remove your personal information from these sites so that you keep your identity a little safer. Now, some of these numbers floating around with these data broker removal services are insane. It does sound impressive at first, but things do get a little nuanced because you sign up for the service, because those numbers are impressive, and then later you find out that, well, it's not that many sites that you get your personal information removed from. It's like, what gives? What is happening, and why am I not getting the coverage that is advertised? Well, those numbers are a little inflated, and you need to take a look or do a deep dive into the nuances to understand why those numbers might not reflect as advertised. Let me be the first to say, data brokers are pesky, but if you're not flinging your information all over the internet, well, then only a finite amount of them can truly be dangerous. That's why when you sign up for some of these services, well, the numbers aren't reflecting appropriately as you thought or were being advertised to. So even though hundreds of these data broker sites do exist, most people aren't even, I would say, on 100 or 30 of those sites. And the sites that you are on sometimes do hold true information, but for the most part, it's either slightly wrong or they're making fun of details where when you take a deep dive, you're like, wait, this is really far off. I mean, it has my name, but it's not really me or any of my personal information. Here is where Incogni differs. It is an AI-driven data broker removal service with some human oversight. It is a hybrid system, so they, through their AI system, submit as many opt-out requests as possible. How does pricing work with Incogni? Well, we've compared Incogni to other data broker removal services on the market. If we take the removals and divide it by the price that we pay, it is one of the best bangs for your buck, meaning that it offers the best cost per removal. So why is there still so much time left on the video? I mean, why shouldn't you just go into the description, we end the video, you click on the link, you save money, and you help this channel? Well, because there's a little bit more to the Incogni story. So let me inform you on some things that Incogni has or offers so that you can make the best informed decision possible before just signing up with Incogni. So what gets a little bit tricky? Well, when I did Incogni, it informed me that I had 200 removals, which is really good, and I should have left it at that. I mean, what is there to worry about? That is a good, solid number. Well, when I had my testers go through their removal process, something did come up that kind of was a little concerning, which is the fact that they almost had as high of a removal rate as I did, which tells me one thing, that Incogni is submitting these opt-out requests even if your information is not on these data broker sites. This is why I want to talk about services like Optory, which offer a free scan. They give you screenshots of your information on these sites. So it's physical proof that yes, Ro is on, whatever data broker site, and yes, your information does exist here. What other services offer that Incogni doesn't is the fact that it lets me assess the threat and if I need to remove my data from these sites, meaning like a good example is Optory showed me where my information was. And when I read it, it just was my first and last name. So, I mean, when you're looking at the broad view of this, a criminal would already have my first and last name. So there's no point in submitting a request to remove my first and last name from the site. Now, if it had pertinent things like my address and phone number, things that get more specific, then yes, I assess my own threat level on that, and then I act by submitting an opt-out request. Now, Incogni doesn't do the same verification process exactly like this. It's just more of a broad overview of, yeah, your information was found on this site, and yeah, we submitted an opt-out request and it was handled. So it doesn't show you screenshots like Optory. It's more so you got to trust us. What I've found is, yeah, that trust us method doesn't work for everybody. I mean, for someone like me or my testers that actually pour through the data and want to know where and what kind of information was on these sites, well, this just doesn't cut it. Is something like Incogni right for you? Well, let's break it down. I always want to emphasize this with Incogni. It is a specialist, meaning it does something well with its AI model, which is it sends as many opt-out requests as possible to as many data broker sites. But it's not specific, it's just broad. Its pricing is better than Optory and way better than DeleteMe, who doesn't offer any monthly pricing, but annual prices only. So in that realm, Incogni does do well. But again, these data broker removal services are only one piece of a bigger puzzle that is identity theft protection. So more likely than not, you're trying to remove yourself from the internet to reduce that internet footprint, which means that you're probably trying to protect yourself from having your identity stolen. So in that situation, I would recommend more of a robust service like Aura, which I've reviewed on this channel before. You can check the descriptions below, look at my past videos. A service like Aura just makes more sense because it does have that data broker removal component, and it also has credit monitoring and dark web monitoring, as well as an insurance policy if the worst does happen, and a US-based customer service team that will be there to support you. But I will say this about Incogni, which is if you want as many opt-out requests submitted to as many data broker sites, well, Incogni 100% has you covered. Is that all you're really trying to do? Is that why you're trying to remove yourself from the internet? Again, it's one of the best services out there for the money. If you're ready to go with whatever service we talked about, whether it's Aura, which is what I personally use to get that 360 coverage, or if you want to go with Incogni, check out the description below for exclusive discount links that help support the channel at no cost to you and save you a little bit of money. Again, this is Ro with Cybersleuth. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.